On the updated poverty line of $1.90 a day, World Bank projections suggest that global poverty may have reached 700 million or 9.6% of global population in 2015. Globally, 1.2 billion people, which is 22%, live on less than $1.25 a day. And that quote is from compassion.com. So before I get into my actual speech, I'm going to tell you guys about the sources that I used during this speech and all the research I did. So I got my world poverty quotes and statistics from compassion.com, and I got the Belize poverty rate from civ.org, the Belize site, and the food waste quote from nrdc.org, and the Bible verses that I used from biblereasons.com. So my name is Mariah Cannon, and I'm going to be talking to y'all about how the mission trips I took to Belize affected me and what I learned from them. So I learned that I need to cherish what I have, and I learned that I need to be frugal about the food and not waste it, and I learned that I also need to give more attention to others because it gives them, it means more to them. And what's one man's trash is another man's treasure. I learned to cherish what I have because I grew up pretty privileged. I pretty much went through all 3 meals a day. I got to pick what I wanted to eat, and I always had the newest clothes on my back, and I sometimes was a brat when I didn't get what I wanted. And that really taught me when I went to Belize that a lot of people don't get 3 meals a day, don't get clean clothes every night, and sometimes don't even have a place to sleep at night. And really going there and seeing all the ways they live, and that some people live with big families and they don't get food, and sometimes they don't have clean clothes every day, and that they're not living in the best places. And I grew up pretty much getting everything I needed and wanted, and there's people out there who don't get that at all. And in 2009, Belize's poverty rate was for 41.3%. That's almost half of the country is in poverty, and that's a lot of poor people, and it's really sad because they don't have a lot of people who try to help them get out of that poverty, and it's just a really, really, really poverty country, and a lot of people go without when they shouldn't. 40% of food in the United States today goes uneaten. This is not only meaning that Americans are throwing out the equivalent of $165 billion each year, but also that the uneaten food ends up rotting in landfills. Dana Gunder said that, and that's from the nrdc.org. This is where I learned to be frugal about the food there, because sometimes pretty much a lot of people could say that they waste their food if they don't like it, or if they just didn't finish eating it, they throw it away, they don't keep it. A lot of people say they don't even eat leftovers. My family always try to eat leftovers. My parents taught me to eat leftovers, but sometimes that gets old and you just don't eat it. And America is really privileged, and we have a lot of food, and we have a lot of plants and stuff that we grow and get food every day. Like, we have a lot of food all the time. In a lot of other countries, their food could be more expensive. People just don't have the money to get it, and we're not the only country that is like that. There's other countries that that get a lot of food also, and that there are also those other countries that don't have anything, and we waste the most food because a lot of people, they just don't like their food and they just throw it away. And I feel like a lot of times we could keep that food, or maybe not get it if we didn't like it, or save it and eat it another time, because there's people that are going without food. And when I was in Belize, we did a day trip where we went to a village and we took rice and beans to the villages, and these were families that lived with 4 or more people, and we gave them food because sometimes they were going without and they had to feed their children, and sometimes the parents weren't eating because they wanted to feed their children. And it really showed me that there are people who go starving at night, or don't get those 3 meals a day like they should, and we need to help and reach out and not be so wasteful with our food, because there are people out there that go without. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field. As disciples of God, his love and goodness is shown through us. We are here to make changes. And that's Matthew 9:37 through 38. And my this is my third point, and my giving a little bit of my attention to others brought about big changes to other people because they were very influenced by what we were doing and that we were there. We didn't think that much of it, but us just being there really, really, really gave them, like, they were very excited and they were very intrigued and they just were so interested about doing better and wanting to know what they needed to do better, wanting to talk to us. They were just very excited. It was a very exciting thing for them. And we didn't think that we were affecting them the way that we were. We hoped we were, but we really, when they would talk to us and speak to us, we would be like, you guys, we really are affecting y'all. And we got to witness to them and just talk to them about how their life was going and all their problems, and they struggled just like us. And they were just telling us, and we would just encourage them. And it was so funny because some of the people that I would see from previous years, they would remember me and talk to me about their problems, and we would just, talk about how their walk with God was going and what they were doing better with their life and what was going on. And Matthew 5:16 says, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." And we basically had that. It was a very good verse because you want other people to see what you're doing and that you're helping and you're reaching out to people, and they will get influenced to go and reach out to others and help and, want to change and make differences. And we wanted to encourage and influence others. And it's really time to make a difference. I think a lot of people really need to cherish what they have and not take what they have for granted, because there are a lot of people who go without things and they aren't as privileged and don't have the same luxuries as us, and we really shouldn't take for anything for granted that we have, because we're very privileged. And to conclude, these are the 3 main points that I talked about throughout this speech, and it's like, I learned to cherish what I have, I learned to be frugal about food and not waste it, and my giving a little of my attention to others brought about big changes for them. And again, we need to understand and not take what we have for granted.